This is exciting. This is the first installment of the HelloNation What's Next Coffee Talk series. So here it is. We are going to talk about everything good because that's what we do. We spread good news. I have our first two guests, although I don't think you're going to be just guests. I believe that you're going to be.
Come on, we're not
Well,
a guest.
Yeah, I would think that you're guests.
What,
You're part of it.
You're the host?
Are you that
Well,
important?
do you want to switch? You can sit in the host seat.
No. You asked the questions. We're good.
No, I don't like the third shot. Look in the back of my head.
Well, we're gonna call you Kevin Quivers. We'll put you in there. And
I'll go in there.
Put him in the box.
Put him in the box.
There we go.
So I'll start by saying the funny thing, like literally what we just started. Good enough. It's been the ongoing joke.
I hate good enough.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it. Like it's just never been something we've done.
No, I think as a creative, you get caught up in somebody saying good enough, and you're like, it just doesn't work. You know, we want it to be right. You got to be have something that's got some quality to it, right? And when somebody's just like, oh, that's good enough, you just know it's over. Yeah. You know, it's the worst.
So frustrating.
I love I just got to say, the people watching at home, that is a full-size cup. He's that small.
That was good.
All right. Well, gentlemen, the idea behind this is definitely called to what's next, but we can really talk about what's here right now. We've been here. I'll do it. I'm the shortest one. I know where you're going with that one. In terms of time that I've been here, I'll celebrate 20 years in October. Kevin, how long have you been here?
Full 26 in October.
Unbelievable. Brandon?
21.
In this time that we are here now, how amazing is the product that we have and what a client gets?
Bar none, the best product we've ever produced at this company. I'll say flat out, I mean, everything that we're providing to a client is above and beyond anything we've ever done on the community video level, right? Nothing wrong with the community movies we were producing, the 30 and 60-second videos, but there was a limitation, I think, to what those were doing because it's a commercial advertisement, right? And when you get into HelloNation, you're getting into what I call trust signals, right? Taking everything that we're doing for a business owner and populating them as the expert all over the internet, right? And we've got products for press releases. We've got articles on their magazines, expert websites, neighborhood websites, HelloNation itself, right? Podcasts, right? We're doing podcasts.
I don't even think we're touching all of them, but
no. And listen, we're not touching all of them, but that's why I said it's so far above and beyond what we've produced for a client before that I think we're giving somebody a chance to really be found by the internet. Right. And if we do our product right, we get the quality product there, not the good enough. Right. They're going to stand out when we put them on the internet.
Yeah.
And before you know it, AI, Google, the trust is there. And they're saying, hey, this person can give you an answer to the question you're asking.
It's almost unbelievable because I'm going to use it this way. Right. We've just said, good enough, hate it. But the simplicity of this, right? In terms of what it's for business. I mean, you said, the community, I still think the impact that it can have for communities of storytelling is unbelievable. But the simplicity of you have been in the business for a lot of times we hear 20 years,
33 years,
33 years. You're an expert. You know what you're talking about already. Google wants to be informed. They want to be educated. Right? That's what they're looking for now, or as we say, advertising, but they want to be educated. What piece of information? And I'm still learning something new every day about it. I think we were talking about it yesterday, Kevin, with just how precise we get with the educating for a client in terms of SEMrush, right? I had a hairstylist, probably not the right wording for her, call yesterday. And she's like, I'm just not sure. And Jimmy P brought me down and he goes, do you even know why these articles were chosen specifically for her? She already knows it all. And I'm like, I didn't know. It's like, gets on his phone. He talks into it. Hey, Google, what are the top searched things on Park Avenue in Rochester, New York for hair? He goes, there you go. And to think of it, like I said, simplicity. We asked Google, what is it for this person? Not just use a hairstylist, a realtor, a dentist, a doctor, you fill in the blank. It's unbelievable what we're doing. And I like what Brandon, your terms, stacking.
Yeah. Yeah, you're stacking up the wins for a client, right? Google's got that new campaign, right? Just Ask Google, right? There's a saying that I found online when I was looking up the Just Ask Google stuff, and it was, in the past, Google was the librarian, right? You had something you needed, you went to the library, you got a book out, and they gave you the answer that way, right? Now they're becoming a teacher. And instead of going to Google, you're asking Google a question. And as the teacher, they want to provide the best reference or source to give you the right answer, right? And I think it comes down to businesses trying to say to themselves right now, all right, if Google wants to have a teacher, who's going to represent that educator and be the expert, right? For business to say, this person's got the right answer for you, right? As the teacher, I want to give you the right person to answer that problem, right? And I think that's really an evolution of where the internet's gone to now.
And
so,
but back to your original question, like, what are we doing? What are we offering our clients compared to what we used to offer our clients? Like, I think, even however many years ago you want to go, I think we were doing a good job for our clients. We were giving them video, and it was going on their site. It was going on the city site. And I think it was a good product. But like, things have moved, and now, so comparing that product, what we were doing, like a nice video program, and then moving it over and putting it on, those two locations. Now it goes back to Brandon told the story at the Monday morning meeting a couple of weeks ago about it's a flare, and that's what it was. It was one flare, or even two flares. You could call it two flares, but now that flare is fireworks, and it's exploding out, and it's one of those fireworks that explodes, and like it's
a grand finale.
Everything's a trust signal. It's a trust signal. The beacon of light. Yeah.
And for the most part, it's the same. It's not the same product, but it's still video. It's still promotions, but now it's just hitting so many different locations that I think it's insane. It's not even fair to compare what we're doing today to what we were doing.
Well, I think it goes through that evolution, right? You nailed something, I think, really good there. You talked about the city, right? The city still is extremely important to everything we're doing, right? The government backlinks, the connections to community, right? Google's still looking at that, right, as a trust signal, right? If you're attached to all these different places, they're now raising you up as that person that I'm not only seeing your answers as being trustworthy, I'm not only seeing the press releases and all the other pieces as you being a beacon of trust, but you're also connected to your community too. And the community sees you as a beacon of trust. And that's just another way that we can really elevate people.
Well, I've gone around to make some social content, and I believe it was Dave Cruz told of a client. They've been in this community for over 20 years. We did the press release with them, and apparently the community saw this. They did their own personal little local news story on it. And the client called Dave and said, I've been in this community for 20 years. They never cared. What you did exposed me in a whole new level to my community that I don't even have a slow period anymore, which again, I think is incredible. Again, I love the idea of what's next, right? Where we started, how we go, and what's happening. Because the AEO, this is what we're talking about, answer engine optimization, you still need good SEO. So don't think that you don't need that.
100%.
Right? You still need to be seen the right way from your website. You still need to know that you're doing that. So that's a big one where, and again, the joke is of what's next, our next team, right? And let's talk about how we went from the concept of into a community one time with a business to we have clients now that I actually talked to a guy yesterday, Brighton Chiropractic. He's been with us for 28 years. He started with cartoon maps.
No kidding.
And he has gone through us. And I asked, I go, why? And he goes, I just like that you guys are always bringing me something new and it's working. He goes, I love that. Talk a little bit about that care that we do need for SEO, because I do think that that's important, that we talk AEO, but then same thing. I talk to our teammates. They go, well, you better have good SEO if you want that AEO to work.
Well, it does go back to you got to be found first, right? Once you're found, you've got to stand out. And then once you stand out, you got to be good enough to be chosen, right? It's still up to the consumer.
You used good enough. But keep going.
Right? Exactly. It's still up to the consumer, right? They've got to obviously be put in front of the right people, right? So SEO does play a key role in that, right? SEO is not going away, right?
Yep.
The algorithm, the LLMs have now said, all right, we want SEO as part of it, but we also know that AI search and what AI is doing has to put a business owner in a different light, right? And I'll go back to the educator, right? Somebody that's out there in a way that's different, that's answering a specific question, right? They're providing that answer, which is a need of the consumer, right? So you still have to have the other pieces, though. If you can't find the website, right? You don't have, you're not relevant in the community. You don't have good reviews and things like that. It's not going to help you in the trust department. Right. Yep. And that's really what it comes down to, right? I keep saying trust signals, right? The fireworks, right? Those are all trust signals, right? And
Totally.
the more that you're trusted, right, the more that you're going to be elevated, if you will, by the system.
Yeah.
So and this is about taking advantage of the system right now too.
Well,
Right.
you use Trust, Google, AEO. You did say LLM, and I think this is fun because I'll go to Kevin with this one. Google is now the official word of mouth, right? Hey, Brandon, where should I go for a restaurant? You're going to go. You're going to tell me. I trust you, but you better believe I Google it.
I'm going to research
Because I
it.
want to see. Well, I want to see what they have. Ooh, that looks like a good meal. So that still is there. But the one thing, and you've even informed me. Like I said, I love it. I'm still learning. Brandon said LLM. For those who don't know it, that is the language learning model. Why is it? I said earlier, Jimmy P talked into his phone. Why is LLM so important? Why is Ask Google? Why is it done as the typing, right? Or should be?
You're talking about talking to it, right?
Yep.
So
Language learning model.
yeah, and
It's also a long language model too, correct?
I'm not good with spelling or reading, but
I mean, we can look.
It's an acronym. It's an acronym.
It's an acronym.
Someone can look it up.
We know it's important.
I'm actually, so it's moving fast, right? But they are trained on language. They're not trained. That's why when you try to even generate like an image or video using the AI that's out there, some of it's remarkable, but spelling, not so good. Logos, not so good, because it's doing a lot of iterations. The language is where it's really good. So even talking to Claude or any one of them is usually stronger than typing because it is a language model. It's pretty important. Like, and the when we were talking about that book, like there's definitely some stuff they don't even know how it's figuring out what it's figuring out. It's pretty.
Well, it's funny. I've always I never liked I feel like my mom would be like, text him. We're having dinner. Period. We're doing it at 6:30. Period. That's what I felt like talking to my phone. But now realizing it's not that. You literally just talk. Like, all right, so this is what I'm thinking. I want to do this, and this. I'm thinking this color scheme, this. Like, it's not pause, this. Just talk. Like it's a person taking the notes.
Well, let me throw this out there. It does go into the product that we're producing, right? So we've got our Insights player, which is actually playing our podcasts, right?
Yep.
That Insights player is actually the questions and answers in the back end. So it's you'll be able to be read by the language learning model, right?
Yep.
We've also got in now social, right? If you're doing social or Hello Social, the social media part of it, anything that we're putting into social now, Google's now crawling social media as well. Right. So if they're crawling social media and you're identifying the stack, right? And you're identifying in your social media, even educational elements, information that can provide answers, things like that, that's going to get a stack, right? Another trust signal. And again, it's about becoming the educator. Everything that we're doing is trying to get our business owners to be the person that is the go-to, the expert. But to be the expert, you got to be the educator first. That's what the system's looking for. I want you to be the educator so I can recognize you as the expert, and everything that you're doing is creating the trust. So you're being the answer to AI.
But again, it's literally turned everything I've known upside down. Right? Because I was always like, you want to advertise? Let's show your name. Let's show this.
33 years, right? Doing this, right? Marketing and advertising has taken a complete twist here.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, I'm not saying all marketing and advertising is gone. That's not the case, right? But how people or human behavior is acting now, how people are actually using the internet, it's taken advertising in a different spin, right? You're not advertising now, you're educating. But in essence, that education, right, the expertise and everything is now giving you an advertisement of sort when you didn't mean to, right? Because you wanted to do the right thing and you wanted to provide the answers, and all of a sudden you've been elevated, you've been lifted.
Yes.
Hey, this person's got the answer. Let's look at them. Yeah. And what's somebody going to do when you provide them the answer?
Completely.
They're going to do more research. They're going to go to your website. They're going to be like, hey, I got to check this person out.
I was actually explaining it to a friend yesterday. She's like, how are you doing? What are you doing? What's the stuff? And I did I'll use an elevator pitch. And I go, like a mechanic in Rochester, obviously is a very different one than in Austin, Texas, where you live. An expert here in it will go, like there's a difference between a snow tire and all season tire. You're in Austin, Texas. You don't need to know about a winter tire or that. And she goes, oh my God, that makes sense. And it really does. I love this one too. You brought up the podcast. I'm going all over, but you also used one of our favorite words is different. Why is our podcast, probably this one Why are ours different? Why are ours better? Because anybody else can do one.
Zero what? Zero self-promotion, zero advertising. That's a huge
Zero
one.
self-promotion. That's one.
Yeah.
But you talked about the insights. We are on the back end putting all of the information in, going to the schema, going to Google, AI, everything, going, hey, look at these things. This is the person doing it. This is Tim Epner. This is Kevin Baer. This is Brandon Bartz. They are experts in what they do. They're educating now on all that we're doing with HelloNation. And Google looks at that and goes, ooh.
Well, hold on. We're missing two things there, though. Where does that player go?
On their expert site.
And where does that expert site go?
HelloNation.
Where on HelloNation? Neighborhood
The
websites.
neighborhood website, yeah.
Which the neighborhood websites are also separate, right? So we continue to go to the stack, right? You got that expert podcast, right? Now going on an expert website, which that expert website is now going to go on hopefully 10, 15 neighborhoods in their local community. So instead of having those trust signals one time, it's multiplication, right?
Yeah.
You're now getting this stack where it's here, 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 and here. So when Google and the LLM, when it's being crawled, right? It's not being crawled from that one place that we put it. It's being crawled from every place that we put it, you know, and it's seen multiplied, you know, time and time again. You know?
We're blazing by the neighborhood sites.
Correct,
and the
which
impact
is
of what it is.
absolutely massive. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. This is how trusted it is. More often than not, we are above Zillow, homes.com,
Realtor.com.
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's incredible because of the stacking of the trusted voices in it. No advertising. Incredible.
That's one of the biggest keys, I think. The fact that we're focusing on education, right? We're focusing on putting thought leaders in a place that they can share their wisdom, right? That is completely different from a normal marketing environment, right? We are not marketing. We're providing a trusted voice to local experts to provide their knowledge, right, to the community, right? And it's just a great way to do it, you know?
I think it's probably also difficult for other marketing companies to, like, we found difficulty in pivoting from that, right? We still
100%.
see it. Like, and I think because of the environment that we've always, we were talking about it before, we always pivoted from project to project to project to project. But I think other marketing departments, other marketing companies might be more stuck in their ways and being like, no, we need to do these ads. We need to do this. And because they don't really think about it, like you might not get someone directly from the neighborhood website to come back and find your business. At the same time, all that work on the back end, all that the education on the back end, if that puts you as the answer in Google, well, then you'll definitely get more work because your name is going to come up, and then they'll look you up, and then they'll figure out. And I think that's an end around that's tough for some marketing, because they're like, no, we need to do that ad, or we need to do this marketing, or we need to do this Google ad. You know what I mean? Like, we need.
Well, how scared do you think they are with 83%? You know what that number is? 83%.
What's that?
Website clicks are down 83% from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Click-through rate.
Yeah.
But because the answer's on Google.
Yeah,
so
correct.
just like that, hey, you might not get it from the neighborhood site, but guess what? If you're the answer in Google that somebody's looking for, yes, they're going to go to your website, but Google's already said, hey, this is trusted. This person is trusted.
Yeah.
This business is trusted. This is who we recommend. There's that word of mouth.
Yeah. I think even, sorry.
No, you're good.
Even
Let me jump
like
in a sec.
this a couple of years ago, like I feel like we didn't embrace the backlink as much as we could, but I think it's a tough concept for someone to be like, I don't really understand how, you know, like what do I like? Okay, so my video is here and it's backlinked to there and it's like it's kind of like the library. It's not a direct. You know what I mean? It's not a direct connection. Like, how the hell does that help me? You have to like do the explanation to figure out like, well, so Google weights the company, the businesses, the .govs, the corporations, the partnerships, all those other things. And that raises you because now you're sort of like all that other stuff. It's like
The weird word of mouth.
right. And it's hard to put a number on that. Well, how many spots did it move me up? You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, traditionally, we talked about the barrier, right? Years in video, years in doing the job, and you get stuck in that marketing mindset. Listen, marketing has its, or traditional marketing has its purpose, right?
Sure.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Oh, we're not here to bash. In fact,
No,
we
no.
love working with the traditional market because we know we can help
Listen,
them.
I still love doing 30-second videos, 60-second videos, things like that, right? When you think about it, though, even a billboard, right? There's cars that drive by it. In the traditional marketing sense, they're going to say, hey, there's just so many drivers that drive by that billboard, right? You do a radio ad. Oh, there's so many listeners that listen to the radio, right? Whatever it may be, right? They're putting it out into an audience, right? At the end of the day, no matter what they see those things on, what are they still going to do? They're still going to go online, right? They're still going to do a search. They're still going to look for information because we're a researching society now, right?
Yep.
We want to know more before we make a decision, right? And if that's the case, no matter where it ends up, they're going to get online, right? And they're going to look for things that are relevant to what they're asking. And it goes back to just
Google.
ask. You got it, right? And once they do the just ask Google part, they're going to find the things that we're putting in there. We're basically going around all of the other stuff to say, we're going to go right to where we know people are, right? We're going to go
to the
right
schema,
to
the asking the Google.
You got it. We're going to go right to where we know people are going to go because that is the best place to have them make a decision.
Yep. What are they looking? What is Penfield, New York looking for in terms of a dentist? What is Schaumburg, Illinois looking for in terms of a therapist? We are literally telling them this is what people are looking for.
Yeah.
You need to be the expert on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's just driving people closer to their answer. That's what it is, you know. And again, the other stuff's great, right? People still do them. No big deal. But it's going to drive you to a specific result. And not for nothing, most people don't know if those actually work. Or unless they're literally asking their client, how'd you find me? Right? At the end of the day, we know people are going online because we see the search results. We know what people are looking for. We know what they're asking for. So let's give it to them right there.
Totally. I mean, again, to see even some, and I know that we like to temper expectations, which completely, right? But I do a lot of the filming, the remote filming, to have realtors that I've worked with call me and he's like, Timmy, I got it. It worked. You wouldn't believe it. And he literally told me in my time as a realtor, 30 years, I probably spent $1 million. He goes, I feel like I'm not paying you guys enough because I just got a $1.3 million sale from a guy and he called it chit chat. What he meant was ChatGPT. A guy looked up realtor in Boynton Beach, Florida. He came up and he's like, I'd never met this guy. I asked him and he goes, ChatGPT, I don't even know how I got on ChatGPT. Like, we're hearing these stories on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing, and I love this, you're the one who actually, and I'm not going to do it justice, so I'll just say, it's like, how do you win a race? So why is working now? Because some people are like, well, it's not there yet. Explain this part, because I think this is also vital for businesses to understand this.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. It is a little bit of a land grab right now. And so you don't have to necessarily run faster than your competition, but the person that starts first is going to be out ahead. So and then all you have to do is stay out ahead. So we were talking about, you know, the need to renew and the need to keep it up, because the minute you give up on that advantage, that head start, then everyone else is going to catch up. So the person that starts looking into getting them recognized on these search engines sooner are going to be out ahead, and then anybody else is going to have to try to eclipse them. So like there's no way to catch up to the person.
Yeah. No, well, that's where the funny part is like, hey, if you start, right, and you're like, I don't want to do the 3 years. I think 1 year's enough. Great. You are already that far out. How do you win a race? You get 50 feet ahead and just don't lose that 50 feet.
Well, you still got to go back to the stack, though, right? Because everything you do in year one stacks into year two, stacks into year three. Before you know it, we didn't even get into like the PR pieces, right?
Yeah. Oh, I told you what I said in the beginning. We're not even touching all of it.
No, there's so much to the product. That's just the amazing part of it, you know.
But even to your point, to the PR pieces, quarterly, right?
Yeah.
So you have these quarterly pieces coming out, and realistically, after a year, you might be way ahead of it. And I don't really want to spend the money. I'm done, right? You might still be out there for a little while, but the next person that comes by and goes, well, I'm going to start doing articles. Well, they're just going to, like
Kevin said something there, quarterly, right? That quarterly is one, right? But what does one turn into? That's what people, we always say quarterly, right? But one's actually about 300 pickups by news
Correct.
outlets, right?
News outlets.
Correct. So in a
that
course
doesn't
of a
count
year,
eyes. That doesn't count.
No. Exactly, right? In the course of a year, our businesses are getting about 1,200 news pickups for them as the expert, right? Different places that PR piece is now being picked up everywhere, right? We've got PR pieces that have been picked up in places all over the country, but it doesn't matter. It's the firework. It doesn't matter because the LLM's still seeing them as the expert. Yeah. It's identifying their local community where their expertise is at. It's identifying in the PR piece that they're a part of HelloNation, right? HelloNation's connected to the United States Conference of Mayors and all the other places that we have HelloNation connections on, right? And what you've got then is, again, we're building up them as the lead source of information.
Yep.
So in their local community.
Yep.
So it's absolutely awesome.
And again, I want to make sure that we're still absolutely talking about the impact that this makes for the communities. They are also storytellers, right? Gone are the days of like, well, because what we were built on. These are your 4 chapters. That's great. You want to stick with those 4 chapters. What is good news happening in your community?
I'm glad you went there, actually.
What is the good news happening in your community? You could tell anything.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh, we just had our little league team win the state. They're recognized here. That's a great news story. Yeah. Right? And it doesn't have to be the mayor. We love it when it's a mayor, but it could be the parks director. It could be, I mean, we did one small little community called Honeoye Falls. They got so far 12 million of the 18 million needed for a whole new water treatment plant.
Okay.
Right? And that was the good news that he told. He goes, this is unheard of for a community of our size. I said, that is great news. And in that whole video that we did with him, he talked about who got him the money, how he got the money. You don't think that that's also picked up and noticed?
Oh, that's what makes it awesome. I mean, you said good news. I was glad you brought up the story of the communities, right? I don't know if you guys know, but Tim has been running out trying to get good news stories in communities. He's got his team doing it as well. And some of the stories that we've been hearing, we had one on a park they put in.
Yep.
Right.
Golf too. Yeah. Every and anything.
Exactly. And I do believe that, we talked about the 30s and 60-second videos, the community stories of the past. But right now, you said it perfectly. They can tell any story they want, right? They have the ability to, I don't want to say we kind of force them into certain things in the past, but we said, hey, we want a series of stories that we know people are looking for, right? Now we want them to tell a series of stories that they want to tell. Right. And I think it's a big shift, and it gives them a little bit more control. Right. And to be honest with you, I would love to actually do podcasts with our cities.
Sure. Oh, totally. Sure. Well, so it brings me to, because I explained it to the team. So Prescott Rossi went and filmed Cambridge, Maryland. Another partner of ours is the Maryland Municipal League. And he went there and he had a whole script. This was our, traditional eLocal Link project. Here's your 4 chapters. And he was sitting up there. He went to the mayor. He's miking her up and he's like, you got to get good stories. Our whole HelloNation concept is good stories. And she goes, oh my gosh, I got to tell you about this defunct area. We've built houses that we are giving and building generational pathways. That was a word she used. He goes, could we take 20 minutes and go tell that story? She was so excited. She got in the car. She called up her, I want to say like housing director.
Yeah. I remember the video.
Got there though.
It was awesome.
And they were tickled to tell the story. And again, they were good news. That mayor was animated in that. So that snowballed. I mean, these stories are all over. That was just, we'll probably try to get Cambridge on there. And
well, I think honestly, we could do a whole nother What's Next episode just on cities. I mean,
Well, we'll have coffee tomorrow too, right?
Yeah.
I think the community videos, we were limited by the real estate that we had, and now with the new magazines, it's bottomless. Like we really, so it's almost like it on our side. We want all those stories because it just gets deeper and deeper.
Totally, I want to continue to encourage the cities, like and again. Here we are remotely.
Throughout the year. What's
coming
up?
Well, we have Open Reel, which is a remote video capture technology. You would think that I was there filming with my Sony camera with what we can do remote.
Oh, kind of like the little cameras we're using right now?
Yeah, exactly. But I encourage, hey, you know what? This is happening. We have this festival. We have the Apple Festival in Hilton, New York. We have this. I'd love to hear it. The same thing I told, and we should probably do a whole article on him, but Safford, Arizona. That was the golf course one, but the interim city manager calls me up and he goes, "You got to change my title. I am now the city manager." I said, "Hey, buddy, we could do something on that." I use festivals, but what other good news is happening in the community? I love when you hear about new sidewalks going in. I think that's good news for the people who live in a community. I'll use it like, hey, sidewalks and streets aren't sexy until they're not. And then you're like, man, when you get a good one, and you're like, oh, that road is so smooth to drive down. You watch the bike go down there, not going over the ridges, So, yeah. But all right, last little thing as we wrap up. What is the good news of the week, or what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Good news of the week. I'll give you two things. One, good news of the week is we have our company summer party, which is nice. I think it's good to get everybody together. Personally, I'm hopefully putting in my greenhouse finally at the in the garden. All the crops are in the garden, but the greenhouse has got to go up because I've been sitting on it for 2 years now, and I'm finally going to get it done.
I'm looking forward to the picnic. I'm looking forward to the people coming in that we haven't seen in a while. This weekend, I don't even know what's going on this afternoon.
Awesome.
Sadly, yeah. Well, gentlemen, this was fun. First installment of What's Next. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something, because that really was the big thing. We hope that you learned something. We hear so much, but we want to spread that knowledge. We want our clients, we want the world to know the impact that is happening here. So from all of us at HelloNation, be good, do good. God bless, and go Bills.
Thanks for watching HelloNation.